difficult we can keep seeing each other through the family's phone and meeting them.
Welcome again, and Yifat, this is your turn. Could you tell us your story, please?
Yes, I will. I was born into a bereaved family. My mother lost her young brother in 1948 during the war over the establishment of the state. When my mom became a mother, she decided to call her son after her deceased brother. She called him Moshe.
Moshe.
But 21 years later, death struck our home again. Moshe, my older brother, my mom's first son, was killed in battle. He died just a few kilometers away from where his young uncle was killed years before that.
Well, do you have any memories that when Moshe, your older brother, passed away?
Yes, I do. I was then 6 years old. I remember waking up in my neighbor's house, not knowing how I got there. And she takes me by the hand up the few stairs to my home. And then the door opens, and there stand my parents and my other soldier brother, Izzy. And there was this brief moment that my heart leaped with joy, because it was a very tense time on the borders of Israel, and my brothers hardly ever came home. But I felt there was something wrong, and this was not a joyous moment.
At the beginning, you were very happy to see your brother. Okay, I can see that at the age of 6. Yeah.
Yes, there was this brief silence, and then somebody said, "Moshe fell." Fell where? I asked.
Yeah.
Moshe, the young IDF officer, my big adored brother, was badly injured in battle on the northern border of Israel. At that time, there were many violent clashes between Israeli soldiers and refugee Palestinian warriors there. And as Moshe's squad was cut off, it took a very long time before help arrived. And after hours of waiting, Moshe died of blood loss. He was just 21 years old. One of the soldiers who couldn't make it on time to save Moshe was my other brother, Izzy, who was situated just 1 kilometer away from where Moshe died.
Just 1 kilometer. It's very sad.
And just a few weeks before he died, Moshe proposed to his girlfriend.
Nice.
And he planned to study at the Hebrew University after finishing his army service. He was a wonderful writer. He was a very enthusiastic tennis player. He was a talented musician. There's so much future that could have been and that should have been. 8 other young men died with Moshe that night, Jews and Arabs. I know nothing about those 8 young men, but I'm sure they too had their dreams, their talents, their loves, their families, just like my brother did.
I'm sure. Well, thank you, Yifat. Now with all those a lot of tragedies, and I wondered how you started becoming all that active member of the Parents Circle Family Forums. Could you tell me that why you become, after all those tragedies, why you became all that active member of the Parents Circle?
After the death of my uncle,
Yes.
my father learned about the Parents Circle Forum, and he joined and became an active member of the organization.
Were you happy about that?
No.
No?
No. My mother and I were ailing the idea at the first, and my father joined alone.
Mm-hmm.
But little by little, we understood the vision of the organization and the forum,
I see.
and we became an active members.
I see.
And my father strongly suggested me that I attend the forum summer camps for children, and I went the first one when I was 13 years old, and I participated to other activities with my mother. Now I'm supervisor and facilitator for these activities, and now I am one of the organizers of the summer camp for Palestinian and Israeli children.
Okay, I'd like to ask exactly the same questions that I made to Amal. Why you became all that active member of the parent circus after all that tragedies?
After Moshe died, my family was never the same again. There's so much it lost, and it's like this huge tsunami. It hits your life, and it leaves you completely helpless. But things changed for me when my sons were approaching their army service. In Israel, it is mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
And I had these troubling thoughts in my mind that my mother lost her brother, and then she lost her son, and I lost my brother, and what's coming next? And I realized that as a mother, I don't have the privilege of looking on passively at this vicious cycle, but I have to do whatever I can to stop it. I owe it to my boys. It was then I heard about the forum, and I decided to check it out. And from the first time I joined a circle of Israelis and Palestinians that were gathered in a Palestinian hotel, a new hope entered my life. Mm-hmm. The immediate sense of empathy and solidarity and the partnership, it really amazed me. And our common pain, it created deep mutual understanding and closeness. And learning about the forum's vision, I felt that not only have I found emotional support, but also an ideological home. In addition to the emphasis on the need to end the Israeli occupation over the Palestinian territories, which is a common important goal to most of the peace movements in Israel, the forum's vision also emphasizes reconciliation. Our long-term vision is to create a framework for reconciliation process to be an integral part of any future political peace agreement. We know that without reconciliation, there will never be peace. Only ceasefire until the next time.
Well, Amal said she's been a facilitator of the summer camp, and she used to be the participant, now she's a facilitator. Is there any particular work that you are involved with the organization? Can you tell us what you do mainly?
Yes. Most of our work is all kinds of binational projects, because it's
binational means Israeli and Palestinian.
Israeli and Palestinian, because it's important to understand that in our reality, for Israelis and Palestinians to get together and to have any meaningful communication is very rare and very difficult. So we have all kinds of activities. My favorite one, and the one that I take part in, is called a dialogue meeting. I go with a Palestinian partner, and we go into Israeli schools. We meet students, and each one of us tells the story of our loss, just like I told you mine. And for many Israeli students, maybe 90% of them, this would be the first time they ever speak to a Palestinian. And they're very, very moved and surprised to hear what the Palestinian has to say, even if before they're very reluctant to meet them because they're scared.
You mentioned that you have some kind of a program for the Israelis who are going to be in army, right?
Yes.
Tell me something about that.
Okay, many Israelis before their army service, they go through a year of preparation, and we often do those dialogue meetings in the years of during this year. Because we want the Israelis to meet Palestinians on an emotional basis and to hear them before they come to their territories as soldiers. And it is very moving to see that usually at the end of the meeting, even if at the beginning they were reluctant, the Israelis would rush to the Palestinian partner and they would surround him or her, usually it's him, want to shake hands, want to talk. So maybe we did not bring peace, but it's a crack in the wall.
That's good. Amal, talking about Japan, is this your first visit to Japan?
No, it's the second time.
Uh-huh.
The first time it was in 2013. I was in Kyotengo City with a Japanese family. I met the teenagers' schools there. The Japanese people are very nice and very kind, and you have very green and natural country. I really hope to visit Japan for the third time, but with no conflict between Palestine and Israel.
It's good. Well, I hope that you come back again in third time. Okay. Yifat, can you tell us a little bit about your impression? Is this your first visit to Japan?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I'm very impressed, like Amal, both with the beauty of nature and the beauty of man-made surroundings. And also I was very thrilled to realize that despite the fact that there are enormous cultural differences between what I'm used to and what's happening here, I feel safe and peaceful. One more thing is that it's a wonderful chance for Amal and myself to spend time together.
That's nice.
To spend time together peacefully. Japan gives us the chance to become friends, which is difficult in our country.
Well, besides being you together in Japan, that anything you can, Japan, of course, in the Middle East project or Middle East conflict is not well known much. Anything Japan, that we can do for your project, just let me know. Anything Japan can play a role in promoting the conflict of the Palestinian issues. Can you tell us?
Yes. I want to tell them, please continue to support our efforts to bring peace to Palestine and to end the conflict between Palestine and Israel. I hope that we could to continue our exchanging program between Palestine and Israel and Japan.
Young people, right? As
Yes, yes.
Like you attended the 2010 programs for young teenagers, Israeli Palestinians, and Japanese teenagers.
Yes.
Okay, you think it's a good idea to continue to do that with Japan?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you?
I feel like Amal, and I want to add that the interest of people here in the conflict in our country, and your being so interested in promoting peace is very important to us, and we also have a lot to learn from Japan that changed its history and is became a much more peaceful seeking nation. We were very moved to see this obligation, and we really hope this interest in our region continues in that sense, because we need all the help we can get.
Well, this is not just for the Japanese audience, but particularly that we're in Tokyo now. Anything you can add today, just please do. Anything you can add something to that, besides what have already talked?
Sometimes it's a bit hard to imagine, because the present right now in Israel, we are very far from it. I feel that you have special power to give us inspiration. When you take interest in us, you also have a lot to teach us. Please do that.
Thank you very much. What about you?
I hope we could to continue with this way, because it's the better way without loss. I hope something for our forum to continue our activities and programs, because it's the reason to meet with other side, the Israeli side, and to know each other more, and to we can solve the solution between us.
Okay. So you're having good time in Japan now?
Yes,
Yeah?
wonderful.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much today. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Arigato.
We've talked already, I've interviewed both of you, so you both start talking, okay? Start talking.
Yifat, thank you for the good time we spent together here in Japan.
It was really great. I really had a wonderful time with you. And, you know, we wouldn't have the chance in Israel or Palestine to spend so
Yes.
much time together, but talking together and walking together in the streets, it was so much fun. You're so lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I hope I can see you again and again on our land, even it's difficult to meet in Palestine and Israel.
At least we can meet through the forum, through the women's group.
Yes, yes.
And you know what, I'm thinking of one other thing. You come from a family of 2 generations of loss, and so do I. And if you and I can be friends, anybody can.
Yes.
I think we can
I think
be a role model for friendship and peace. It can start with two people. So it was really, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Salam.
Global Insight Special Edition, sponsored by Memnos in Japan. Hiromi Yano, known as channel, Tokyo, Japan.
Wow! Your smiling returns. I enjoyed it. Shalom, salam. And also my heartfelt thanks goes to Hiromi Yano. You did a very good job walking the fine line between two sensitive territories. And I've been to Israel a couple of times and to Palestine as well as on our mission, on the Knownness mission and Peace Japan mission. We went there to be tear gas at Jericho. Is a beautiful city. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Jericho. I was right there. I didn't expect to be tear gassed. I cried tears of fear. But having heard you, I came away with the feeling your tears are sincere tears, not crocodile tears. Your smiles are beautiful. Country smiles, not the city smiles, and beautiful smiles, sincere smiles. That impressed me in no end. Sometimes the people fear, out of fear itself, that feeds on another fear and getting worse and worse. But when it comes to the constructive negotiation like this, you influence each other. Like I told you earlier, we have in Japan a system called Kotomuke Yawasu, the Shinto language. Means instead of hurting other people, instead of arguing people around, we're trying to, heal each other, healing each other through healing words, kotodama, instead of hurting words. To tell the truth that doesn't hurt, truth that heals instead of the truth that hurts. So I feel indebted to you, and I hope, and Mr. Yano hope, both of them been to both countries, both territories rather, and hoping to have a chance for them to come together in the middle of the ring. And both Mr. Yano and I try to play the role of yobidashi. In the words of the Japan Times today, it's unsung heroes, yobidashi, which is calling out, nishi, higashi. You think they're nothing, not just the referees, but and yet without referee, without yobidashi, no small wrestling, so that they maintain that unobtrusive role, and yet he's able to draw attention from lots of fans by the same token here at this program. And because of the, can I say, through the good offices of the Parent Circle Families Forum, you did a good job crossing the borders, crossing the different ideological, emotional, psychological borders. You did a good job. I'm ready to get behind you. Thank you for your endeavor. Michihiro Matsumoto, Knownness Channel, Tokyo, Japan.